You're on death 100 on the third level of Super Meat Boy, and you just can't take it anymore. Nothing will quell your inner rage but throwing your already smashed up controller at the wall, screaming a few four-letter words, and stomping around like a toddler who wants a toy. If this is you, you might want to consider watching this video. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Fireside Chat. Today's episode is the second in our 5-day countdown to the first Pyramber Studios live stream. Today's a bit more of a psychological episode, but hang with me. Today's topic is rage. Everybody's felt it at one time or another, whether it's that one level or boss you just can't beat, or just a really frustrating mechanic. More than 150 million Americans play video games, and 42% of Americans play video games on a daily basis, at least 3 hours a week. 91% of children between 2 and 17 play video games, and a vast majority of this huge amount of gamers have felt rage at some point in their life, sometimes to mind-blowing extremes. While combing through PlayStation Trophies forums, I found various gamer accounts of video game rage. It ranged from Ouija Laser, who said, "I'd say everyone rages sooner or later. If I get really frustrated on a game, I'll cuss, or maybe lightly throw my controller at the bed. But that's it." To Murkon, who said, forgive the grammar, "I get raged often. Punch the closet, myself, or the TV. I remember when I bought Ninja Gaiden for the first Xbox, and I got stuck at the boss Alma. I had to retry 10 times to get past her. I spat the television, thrown my controller against the floor, and punched the wall, which pretty much hurts my fist. I will never play a game like that again." Needless to say, this level of rage induced by something as simple as a game can seem ridiculous to many people. And in many cases, it is. So why do so many of us often feel like this? Many sources have argued that violent video game content can lead to violent bouts of rage. But from my experiences, and likely many of yours, it is clear that this is not the case. Rather, repeated losses or frustration, anger that you're not performing to your standards, or that you cannot grip the mechanics. Sometimes it's the feeling that the game is unfair. If you've been following the instructions given and have a good hold on the mechanics, but the goal still manages to escape your grasp, or if the goal is just plain unclear. The University of Rochester reminds us that this feeling is not unique to gaming. The same feeling is felt when people lose sports, or card games, or even don't perform well in the workplace. So why is video game rage so different? Well, psychologists say that video games trigger fight or flight responses in players, similarly to fear. This is because video games are stimuli to our minds, and also stressors to it. In this way, these games are constantly giving your mind fear and stress responses as you're playing, heightening your emotions, increasing your heart rate, and giving you a feeling of excitement, and sometimes anxiety. Picture when gamers are getting really into it and they start standing up and bouncing around. To create these reactions, hormones are released throughout your body. Undergoing these stress reactions for extended durations of time can negatively affect your body in many ways. These can include tension, muscle pain, headaches, upset stomach, and sleep issues, but on the extreme, can contribute to high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Clearly, anger and rage can impact the body, not to mention your gameplay. While some people perform best under pressure and stress, like myself, for many people, rage can be a downward spiral. Losing makes you angrier and angrier, but getting angrier makes you lose more. But how do we stop having these reactions? Here are a few tips. Number 1, as cliche as it sounds, taking a break may be just the way to escape the downward spiral I just talked about. After cooling off, you may be able to beat that difficult boss or level you were stuck on in your first try. If you're stuck on a puzzle or confusing section of a game, when you resume gameplay, it may be instantly clear to you what you need to do. If you're playing an online multiplayer game, this could take the form of leaving a lobby to end a losing streak. Number 2, remember the satisfaction of beating a difficult game. While some may tell you to turn the difficulty down, I would never do that myself, and I will not give advice that I wouldn't follow. The truth is, there's something very satisfying in conquering something that has tripped you up several times before. Some of the most difficult games I've played have also been the most rewarding. Before you rage quit and throw the controller, consider how you'll feel when it's all said and done. Number 3. If all else fails, find a healthy way to channel your anger. Texting or calling up a friend to vent could be an easy solution, or going out for a jog or other exercise to clear your mind. Maybe anger could become motivation to be better and finally beat the game. Number 4. Sometimes what you need is just a bit of brainstorming, or a little help. While I personally rarely use walkthroughs, especially video ones, I'm not opposed to looking up tips online. My favorite thing, however, is to confer with friends who I know have the game to come to a reasonable solution ourselves. That way, it doesn't feel like getting the answers, but working together to solve a problem. This is a very useful method, especially now with the Nintendo Switch and the era of portable gaming, where you can meet up with your friends and try different ideas easily. Still, I think the most effective way really is to just take a breather. That or play with friends, which always seems to help me keep my cool. Who knows, maybe you'll see me using some of these tactics on Friday. Speaking of which, only 3 more days. I absolutely cannot wait to share Friday with you all. And with that, just remember, we didn't start the fire, we just keep it burning. Thanks for watching.